proud isn't even a big enough word. You know, I've always known him as a fighter. His strength, I mean, for a 6-year-old boy to do the things and gone through what he has gone through, and he doesn't complain. You know, he gets up he has hours of therapy every day.
You know, doctors are telling you their ideas and what they think, but the truth is, it's a wait and see. You don't know. So as much as we think we know a road or think we know a plan, we're learning just to walk, because sometimes it changes.
We're both teachers. I teach 6th grade at Robinson Elementary School in Saddleback Valley Unified School District. I also coach sophomore football at Mission Viejo High School. We've been around kids our whole life as youth pastors to our church, and now we're with the children at our church, children's pastors.
As a special ed teacher, I worked with children all the time with disabilities, or abilities as we like to call them. And I've always had a heart for people that have challenges. I had a good 3.5 years with just Cade, and it was filled with the typical things: park dates, play dates, teaching them, learning.
You know, I've always loved superheroes, Superman and Batman, Spider-Man. It was just a natural, he just took to it right away. One year he was Clark Kent, so we'd open up his shirt and you'd see the Superman. That was because he has glasses. He had just gotten his glasses.
It was perfect, really.
So when he was 3.5, we saw the eye start to go in. So we took him to an ophthalmologist, and it was diagnosed as a strabismus, and the therapy for that is to patch cover the strong eye to strengthen the weak eye. Cade did not want to wear the patch. You know, I told him that he has a piece of kryptonite in his eye, that Lex Luthor put a piece of kryptonite in his eye, and he needs to, wearing this patch is our way of shrinking it and getting rid of it. On December 19th, I believe it was, he woke up from a nap and he wasn't wearing his patch and he wasn't seeing well out of either eye. So we made appointments with his ophthalmologist. Lucy was scheduled to be born via C-section on December 26th, and Cade's ophthalmologist was right across the parking lot. So he dilated his eyes, and the optic nerves were swollen. And that is a major red alert that there's something back there causing it. He handed me a piece of paper, go get an MRI immediately. First thing, the next morning, I remember it was pouring rain, we went to a neurologist, and just by examining Cade, he had an idea of where the lesion was. You know, he admitted us into Mission. So there I was up on the 5th floor of Mission, which is Chalk, and Aaron was downstairs on the 2nd floor with Lucy. The MRI revealed that Cade had a brain tumor about the size of an egg that was sitting right on his optic nerve. And it explained everything. You know, it explained why the eye started going in, why the patch wasn't working. As scary as it was, and obviously was terrifying, but there was a certain element of peace that came with it because we understood now. The first surgery went very well. They were able to remove or debulk about 20-30% of the tumor. They pulled it away from his 6th cranial nerve, which is what was causing some palsy in his face.
And I, being the mom, asked the doctor, what would have happened if we didn't come in? He told me, and I'll never forget this, he said, you were days from losing him in his sleep.
The second surgery was obviously much bigger than the first surgery. Dr. Loudon was going to do a craniotomy and try to debulk as much of the tumor as he could, again in hopes to save his vision, because the days leading up to that second surgery, he wasn't seeing much at all. It was about a 3-hour surgery, and then Dr. Loudon came out and pulled us out of the waiting room, and he said it was a very difficult tumor. So essentially, we went up to recovery, not sure if he's going to be able to see, if this is it, if he's going to be blind. I remember waking up at like 3 in the morning and just going over to his bed. And I noticed that as he is moving, he was only moving his left side. Either during the surgery or sometime shortly after, that he had suffered a massive stroke. We had thought we lost him. I had said goodbye to him.
When children have brain injuries or strokes, the one thing that we can expect that's different is it's called neuroplasticity, and it's the ability of the brain to regenerate cells and heal itself. And when we're looking at the brain, there's a certain area that's functioning, one that isn't working. Those areas that work will slowly take over for the areas that aren't working.
That next morning, he was awake, and he had a twinkle in his eye, and he was back.
The lights are on.
There's Cade.
Spark.
So Aaron and I, we looked at each other, we can do this.
We can do this. A friend of ours had kept mentioning, have you checked out the Shea? Have you checked out the Shea? And the neurosurgeon was good with it, so we were good with it. And we came and we met Trish that first day, and she showed us, and I was sold just hearing her passion. So when we heard what the horse could do for Cade, we were so in.
The horse's movement is completely three-dimensional. It moves just like our body does when we're walking, and there's no piece of therapy equipment that can mimic that. They get to go out and pet the horse and ride the horse and balance on the horse. And maybe it's the strength of just tacking up the horse, using their arms to put the girth through and buckle everything for fine motor skills. So there's so many functional tasks that we can overlay into a fun activity.
When have him trot and they're working on his core and he's learning to sit up tall and he's learning to hold on, he's learning to stand, all these different things have really helped his balance. He's falling a lot less. He gets bumped, he's catching himself more. He used to just completely fall.
It's really important to do thousands and thousands of repetition and really work with him intensively. And if you think about Cade sitting astride the horse, and particularly when you have someone with a stroke, typically one side of their body is affected. So for example, as in Cade's side, his right side is affected. So if we do a circle to the right, centrifugal force is going to take him off to the left and it's going to engage that right side more. We also work with Cade in the therapy gym, and we have a unique setting there. We can work with the equipment, but we also have a facility dog named Emerson.
And I'm seeing a pride in him rise up, that he's doing these hard things that he didn't do before, so it's a new skill altogether. And also never wanting to miss. He never wants to miss coming. And I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting him to get attached to his horses, to the therapist and all of it. He's learned that being brave is doing something scared and doing it anyways.
He is walking, he is pushing himself, and he's jogging, running, he does his little jumps, and the talking is amazing.
When Cade is here, Cade is a star, and I believe that's true for every kid that is here. It's not their disability that shines, it's their abilities. And with Cade, whatever he brings to the table that day, they work with to the max. When we come and we pull in, it's a place where you just say, oh, there's rest in it, there's hope in it, there's fight in it, there's a team. It's a place of comfort and a place of renewal. And it's a place where there's camaraderie. I haven't met one wimp yet. These parents are tough and they fight, and I am so thrilled to be on their team. We never look at somebody in a wheelchair without looking at them saying, what's their story? What's their road? What have they done? What have they been through? The Shea Center has been for us many things, but I think one of the biggest things, it's a place of hope. Last year at the Gala, a family blessed us. They have been following our story and offered to sponsor us. Again, providing for us in a way that we couldn't. So there's so much good when we look back. And it's our new normal, it's our passport. We're just on this road together, seeing where it will lead.